49ers, man, making some moves. They're in the news. You also got some OTAs that we can talk about, some good updates. We're getting closer, everybody. We're getting closer. I can feel it. I can taste it. Let's talk about it tonight. What's up, everybody? Welcome in Seth Floyd Show. I'm your host, Seth Floyd Hansen. Haven't recorded in about a week now. I had a little project, epoxy floored my garage. I know you can't tell, but I recorded my garage. Me and the wife last week cleared everything out. Epoxy floored it ourselves, crushed it, looks fantastic. It's why it's a little echoey in here. I know someone commented that. Part of it is because most of my stuff is out here, so sorry if it's gonna be a little echoey. I don't know what to tell you. I don't really have anywhere else to record, but anyway, when I hit record on this tonight, 391 subscribers, you guys are amazing. Please help me get to 500 by week 1. It's 109 in about 4 months. It'd be incredible. You guys are the best. So the big news over the weekend was Bryce Huff being traded to the 49ers for a conditional 5th round pick. Could end up becoming a 4th round pick, depending on if Bryce Huff hits certain benchmarks, which if you hope he does. You'll gladly give up one of your 4th round picks if he's going to hit those benchmarks. You should have. I think they're anticipating 3 4th round picks because of the comp picks that they're going to get. And this is a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. And actually, I think it's a good trade for both teams. I know both teams want to slam on the other team's fans. Philly fans can't believe the Niners took Bryce Huff. 49er fans can't believe that the Eagles agreed to pay $9 million of his salary this year. I think it's good for both teams. Here's why it's so good. Okay, I'm not really saying anything that hasn't been said, but I'm going to reiterate how important this is. Guys, he was bad in Philly because of a scheme fit. A scheme fit. Like, there are 2 basic schemes, maybe a little more, but if you're going to break it down as simple as you can, there are 2 basic schemes that teams run in the NFL. You're either running a base 4-3 with 4 D linemen and 3 linebackers, or you're running a 3-4, which is less common, where you run 3 down linemen, 2 stand-up backers on the outside, and then 2 middle inside backers. So Huff played for the Jets in 23, had 10 sacks, led the league in pressures, playing in that classic wide 9, 4-3, 4 down lineman, his hand in the ground and go. He went and signed with the Eagles. They thought he'd be great coming off that big year, but it was a 3-4 scheme. Vic Fangio, famous for that scheme, and it just didn't work for him. So I don't blame Philly for trying to move off him, but I think everyone around the league, even so Brandon Graham for the Eagles came out and said this is why Huff didn't work, and he's basically said what we just said. He said the stand-up linebacker rushing from the outside as a linebacker, it just didn't fit him very well. Which for anyone who didn't play, you might think that's stupid. What's the difference? And it's nitpicky, but it does make a difference. You're out of your comfort zone. You're out of what am I trying to say? You're unfamiliar with new coaches. All of this. These are human beings. So you switch any of these things, get someone out of their comfort zone, and the production can change drastically. So not only is this a good fit for the 49ers, is it a good move for the 49ers? One, because they've not given up that much, a 5th round pick. You're only paying $7.5 million of his salary this year. He's coming back to a scheme he's comfortable with. Not just he's coming back to a 4-3 scheme. He is literally coming back to the exact scheme that he thrived so much in, if that makes sense. Because all these teams, most teams run a 4-3, but you coach it differently, even within the system. He is literally coming back to the same defensive coordinator that got him to get 10 sacks. He hit 10 sacks in 2023 and led the league in pressure rate. Now, I know Jeff Ulbrich was technically the DC, but it was under Robert Saleh. That's his baby when he was with the Jets. So why wouldn't you? Why would you not take a swing at this guy and just think, yeah, we'll just plug and play. Hopefully he'll do what he did in 23. Another reason it's a good move, he's only 27. You're not trading for, I don't like these trades when it's the guy, he's a little older.
Here, Dad, you gotta give it a go. Try it out.
But 2 years ago when he was a little younger, he had 10 sacks. Maybe we can get one more good year out of him and he can do it. He's not 32, 33. No, he's 27. Had a down year. And why did he have a down year? Well, there's an obvious reason why he had a down year. The scheme changed into something he wasn't very comfortable with, didn't thrive in. Okay, so now we're bringing him back to the exact same situation he was in before. Logically, there's a good chance he's going to produce at a high level. There's no guarantee. It's the NFL, obviously no guarantee, but the thought process is like, guys, what are we doing? Same coach, same scheme, coaching it the same. Going to play opposite of Nick Bosa. Doesn't have to be the main guy. Like, it's a slam dunk. Now, he is not going to be an every down specialist because he's not a great run defender, and that's okay. This is why you drafted Mykel Williams, okay, is to be that other edge setter. But Bryce Huff in a third and medium to long, obvious passing down, he's going to eat. And think about that NASCAR package or whatever, turbo package, whatever you want to call it on third downs. You're going to have Bosa and Huff on the edges. If I had to guess, you're going to have Gross Matos playing on inside on one, inside of either on the left or right, and then you'll have Mykel Williams slide down quite a bit into that 3-tech on the other side. That is a fantastic package, assuming Mykel can, do what he did in college, or at least close to as he develops. I love it. I'm just saying I love it. I love it. I like him more than Leonard Floyd. He's not going to get gassed because he's kind of going to be a third down specialist, but man, do we need that. We need someone to take some pressure off Nick Bosa on the other edge. So I love it. I still think Mykel is going to be the first and second down guy on the edge to set the run and play the run, and you'll have Alfred Collins and Kevin Givens inside and CJ West, and then once you get into that obvious passing mode down is when you're going to see Huff come into the game, which is where he thrives. That's all you want from him. That's all you want from him. Rush the passer, get after it, cause problems on third downs or second and longs, however they decide to use them. So great move. A couple OTA notes. Okay, these have been voluntary OTAs. The mandatory isn't until next week, and then they break for 6 weeks or whatever, and training camp hits, and then we're rocking and rolling. Some good notes there, like the participation rate has been extremely high. You've got the only one notable person that wasn't there was Trent Williams, but he showed up today, I guess. I don't know. I just saw reports later that he showed up today. I don't know if they practiced today, but he showed up today. So it's good. No contract issue. He showed up. He sounds like he's going to be there for mandatory minicamp next week. You're going to have 100% attendance, just rocking and rolling. Freaking love it. I was listening to Tim Kawakami and Matt Barrows on the TK plus minus 49ers podcast, we want to call it. And I've decided I really like Tim Kawakami and Matt Barrows for reasons like I trust them. They're not overly biased. They're not overly negative. You know who I'm talking about. Okay, there are guys that are overly biased, and there's guys super negative like Grant Cohn, which I'm not trying to call. You do whatever you got to do. I'm not knocking anybody, but I want like what's real. And I feel like there's biases all over. Well, I think Tim Kawakami and Matt Barrows, I kind of feel like they genuinely, I think they're very fair, and I think they genuinely are very indifferent about the 49ers. Like, I truly believe that about them. I don't think they really like them that much. I know Tim Kawakami has had beef with Jed York in the past, something about a dinner bill that wasn't picked up. I think I think he's very honest and straightforward. And so I've been listening to them more because I just think neither of them care that much. They care about their jobs, but I just don't think they have any desire to be biased in either direction. Anyway, they were talking about OTAs, and there was all this drama about Christian McCaffrey, and this was the Grant Cohn and the Cohn squad, all of his boys, like talking about how Christian looks like he's lost a step, and I don't know. I don't know how you could tell that from that video. Maybe he has, but you definitely can't tell from on air running just basic plays. Like, give me a break. They're just trying to get out ahead of it so that if he does have a bad year, they can say, see, we told you. But Matt Barrows, again, I trust these guys. Matt Barrows on their pod reacting to OTAs, he was like, this Christian McCaffrey is what he looks like going into the 2023 season, essentially. He said he had a good bounce, a lot of bounce in his step, a lot of burst. This is what he looked like going into 2023. He said he didn't look like that last year, didn't practice much in mandatory minicamp or minicamp last year because they were trying to give guys breaks because they'd played so much football over the last 3 years, just coming off the Super Bowl. Anyway, he said he looks rested and he looks like he's got a good step. So 49er fans, if you're worried about the Grant Cohn, piece or whatever they said, like, golly, do not buy into it. I trust some of these other guys. Like, I'm telling you, Tim Kawakami and Matt Barrows they don't seem like they have any bias. If anything, they would be more negative, especially Kawakami, but they both were kind of like, yeah, he looks good. He looks spry. So that was really positive. They also talked about Brock. They said Brock looked really sharp. He says there's a definite distinction between Brock and Mac Jones. For all those weird people that like didn't want to pay Purdy and wanted to give Mac Jones a real shot, they were like, it's just obvious the difference between the two, which is what you want to hear. You just paid your quarterback $265 million, or at least he signed the contract. You want to hear how sharp he looked. And on top of that, they talked about how good Jennings looked, how good the Brock to Jennings connection looked. And you're going to need that, 49er fans. You are going to need that. Just given the wide receiver situation at the moment, I think that might be the most intriguing position group going into this year, because you don't know what the deal is with Brandon Ayuk. Cam Inman was talking with, I think he was talking to Guy Haberman on his pod, and he said, he was like, I wouldn't rule out Brandon Ayuk being ready for week 1. He said the smart money would be that he's going to be out those first 4 weeks, start on the pup. But he's like, but just you talk to guys and the vibe they're getting, and you look at Brandon, and it looks like some guys feel different. Like, it's not impossible. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. So it's just something to keep an eye on. But if he's going to be out, you need Jennings and Brock to be on the same page. You need those two to be on the same page. He's always on the same page with Kittle. Kittle's career, if you look at his numbers since Brock got in the league, like, has skyrocketed. So you need two really solid weapons. They'll give you a third if Christian can stay healthy on the field. I know it sucks. Pearsall had a kind of a tweaked hamstring, so he hasn't been out yet, but I still believe that he's going to be okay. Get him into training camp. Once he came back last year, he was fine. So, you feel good about that. So that's something to monitor. And then there was a lot of Jordan Watkins buzz, okay, the receiver that they drafted in the 4th round. And I'm on record saying that was my least favorite draft pick, not because of the player. I think the guy can play, but I think just because of how Kyle Shanahan treats rookies. But Matt Barrows was talking about it, Cam Inman they were talking about it, and they just said he looks the part, which is what you want to see in minicamp. He looks fast. He looks like he runs those over routes really well. I think at Ole Miss he was more of most of his production was, I shouldn't say most, because I haven't broke down the film, but a lot of his production was like straight line, go balls type of stuff. He did have some quick slants taken to the house, I saw, but they said he looks really good and comfortable running full speed across the field, catching those long, big over routes, the Kyle Shanahan classic, like those big plays we love, that Ayuk made his name and earned his contract on in 23, those big crossing routes, you know what I'm talking about. Said he looked really good. So that is super encouraging. I would love one of these guys to step up and just be huge. I believe in Pearsall if he's healthy. I believe he's a great possession receiver. We know Jennings is a dog. And then you kind of need, especially until Ayuk comes back, you need one more guy to be like a guy you trust and feel good about. I'm a Cowan guy. I hope Cowan gets his run. But, man, if it's Jordan Watkins that steps up, then great. Would love it, man. To just kind of balance everything out and give you options. So, anyway, that's what I got for you. Hyped about the Bryce Huff trade. It's good. 49er fans, it's good. You're only paying $7.5 million, 5th round pick that can become a 4th. You hope it becomes a 4th, because that means he probably had 8 to 10 sacks and a crap ton of pressures and played 17 games. Like, that's what you're hoping for. And then watch that receiver battle. We'll see how it all plays out. But Brock looks good. Jennings looks good. That's what we want to see. Trent Williams did show up to camp today. Sounds like he's going to practice for mandatory minicamp. That's what you want. And then let's everyone get healthy, completely ready to go physically and mentally for training camp about 6 weeks. Appreciate you still being here. Hit that subscribe button if you are still here. If you haven't already, share it with your friends, share it with your enemies. And man, that's all I got. Go Niners.